the IRL sector is emerging as a counterweight to the digital sector and the AI enabled. If we're going to spend maybe less time online because AI is going to do more things for us, then it makes meeting in person even more important than ever. It's been great. I've been here for like 3 weeks, and I feel like I've already met. Yeah, that's it.
And I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah. The progress has been great so far out here. The energy is really, it's really real. You know, it's palpable, and I met so many great people so far. I'm having a great time. So I think
how does it compare to New York? Because I feel like New York is like number 3 startup city. But like, do you feel like there is a big gap?
I think New York is more friendly toward later stage companies, and like the social scene out there is more about once you're established, then people will kind of give you the respect that you might think you deserve already. But if you're not really established, they'll barely give you the time of day. Like in terms of if you're, hey, I'm a founder. Oh, what are you a founder of? Oh, I have a startup. Like if I were to be out there at events, I mean, hey, maybe I'm underrating it, and it would be better. But I anticipate that many events, I'm a startup founder, I'm starting a location social platform. Like a lot of people just be like, like rolling their eyes. But I think out here, it's different. It feels way more supportive of people in my stage of company development. So that's why I felt like it's different. Like once you raised some money and you have like a team and, you know, maybe you're like on your Series A or something, or hopefully that's when I think like New York starts to be way more come over here and like, you know, play in our ecosystem.
That's my impression too. So I lived in San Francisco 2012 to 2018, and then I moved to New York after. I was there for years. So I was in startups in like both. You know, I'm originally from Maine, and I live now in New Hampshire, but I've also spent a lot of time in Boston. And I mean, the East Coast in general is just more credentials focused.
Yeah.
Even now, like I don't really go to Boston meetups that often, but when I do, invariably someone asks me where I went to college.
Yeah.
And I'm 39. So like that was a long time ago. And I always joke, and I'm like, oh, like 20 years, like you're asking me what I was doing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ha ha ha, but where'd you go to school? I'm like, I'm not telling you. Just like have to know. And I'm like, no, I'm depriving you of the joy of this information. I do not support this academic credentialism, so I'm not going to like feed into it by telling you where I went to school, because I think it's stupid.
I mean, Boston's really like institutional for maybe on like a level that's not beyond New York, but like I went to school at University of Hartford in Connecticut, so I spent a good amount of time in Boston and went to in my early, like let's say the first 2 years of my career in crypto and tech, I was going to events out there in Boston. There, it's really like, you know, down in a vest, you know, type beat.
It is. Have you spent time in Miami, did you say, or Florida?
Yeah, I was living in Fort Lauderdale for the past 2 years. So right next to Miami. I was going to Miami. There's definitely also like a tech scene and a crypto scene down there. But I think this is actually how I first found you, when you were weighing in on the conversation of Miami, right?
When I kicked the hornet's nest of Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you spend time in Miami, or you lived there?
Yeah, I lived there after New York. So when COVID hit, it was like very clear to my husband and I that we're not real New Yorkers, because we're like, oh dear God, this sucks. So we ended up traveling kind of long term. We did like digital nomading. We were in Portugal for quite some time, Austin, Mexico City. And then we ended up moving to Miami. We were only there for 1 year. We just like could not get out fast enough. Yeah, I just found the tech people to be like very unserious. Just like every tech event I went to was just like really disappointing on the seriousness level. Like, and this was in that tweet, you know, I'd get invited to like female founder dinners, and there's nothing wrong with being a beautiful woman, but like there's no way these women like were actually like running startups. Like they're just not. They're like, they opened the like Miami branch of their like family office and like think that they're founders, and it's like, well, no. Like going to the salon all day and like going to networking dinners is not being a founder. Sorry. Did Miami Hack Week, which is a week-long hackathon. Really took like a big swing at it, like took the whole week off and put a lot of effort into it. Won first place, won best use of OpenAI. This was before ChatGPT had come out, so it was just like API.
Oh wow.
It was just like 20 early. We won, best first place and best use of OpenAI. We're supposed to win 10 grand. Just like a bunch of little things happened that like gave me a signal this was not serious. But like they announced that we won and then like didn't tag us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just like couldn't even bother to like look us up and like tag us in the announcement, or like no blog post went out, and then couldn't get a hold of the organizer and for like 6 months. And then he was like, when I finally got a hold of him, he was like, "Oh, I heard you were looking for me." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you owe me 10 G's." Like, what do you mean? The money never came.
Never. Wow.
Yeah, no. And he, and look, I get it. Solo organizer in way over his head says that sponsors didn't come through, but this is just like so indicative of the Miami tech scene, because if this happened, if the biggest hackathon of the year in San Francisco like failed to like honor its commitments, someone would like step in and cover $10,000. Like, this is just such a tiny amount of money for like how big of an event Miami Hack Week was. Or if he just like, a week later been like, "Look, I'm so sorry. Miami's a shithole. This is what happened." But it wasn't. It was just like him giving me legal speak and like pretending that he didn't owe me anything. 1 year later, when they were like announcing the next hackathon, I was like, this still really isn't resolved, and they're starting to promote the next one. I'm just going to let like 3 people in the community know what happened, so that it just doesn't like keep happening. I just felt like it wasn't really resolved. And then he was like, "Oh, I heard you're like talking behind my back." I'm like, dude. A couple like women in tech came after me being like, "Oh, so you have to be ugly to be in tech?" And I'm like, come fucking on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I genuinely think there's something about the weather of Boston, New York, and San Francisco, and maybe like you could throw in Seattle because it's a pretty big tech city as well. Like, when it's a little more cold and a little bit not as inviting to go outside, I think like
you just grind more.
Nerds prefer it. Like, and I'm a nerd, so I can say that, right? I'm not like not speaking derogatorily toward anybody. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm here in SF, and I can't see a lot of the heads that are walking around here, drop them into Miami. I just don't think they'd be like in their element. They'd be like, it's like almost too much to do like outside. Like, I need to be less comfortable outside so I can be comfortable in the office here. Like,
I think Miami is great for maybe slightly like more experienced or exited founders who like, they kind of have their friend group. They're not necessarily like out there trying to pound the pavement, like build a network, but it's like, there is somewhat of a network when they want to, but I just think if you're really young, like move to Austin or San Francisco. Those are like,
I'm out here in SF like every day. I'm going to an event every night. Like it's my mission. It's like I work during the day. At night, I make sure I go to the event, at least one of them, meet like 5 people if I can, just like try to that's all I got to do, right? Like that's like essential. And the density of events here in SF is right now is really, really high. It's what makes it a really good environment for someone like me, for someone in my position who just has to beat the pavement.
And what are you building?
So I'm building Lolo. It's a location social platform that connects people, especially in the crypto industry. So right now I'm building it it's going to be really helpful for conferences. Let's say that. So like I've been traveling to conferences for the past 5 years. Every time I go to a conference, I'm wondering who's there. And really, I've always felt like there should just be a way easier way that like everyone can just like ping they're in the city, and then who's there and you can easily link up with them and stuff. Yeah. So that's like what I built first and foremost.
Okay.
And should I show? Like,
I'll see it. I love my demos.
All right, I'll give a quick demo. And when you log in, you'll see a map, right? So I'm in San Francisco. If you click on the map, you'll see people who have also pinged in the San Francisco area. So here's like a bunch of other users that have pinged here. You can also like ping your own location on a neighborhood, city, state, or country level. So if I zoom into like this area here, Potrero Hill, sorry. Here's another user who's like more specifically in here. Go to SF, and then I can go to the Cali level or the whole US. So it's really like as specific or general as you want to make it. Never like your precise location, more about I'm just here, right? I'm in this area. So really all in all, like what the Lolo product is right now is something that I think can help people who travel, help people who go to different cities, who especially are doing like professional things in different cities and want to have an easier way to know who's around. Or like if you're in New Hampshire or you want to go to Boston, like this might help you. Or if you want to come to SF, this might help you discover people who are also in SF.
I think it's cool. I would probably use it.
Thanks.
it's more just like the marketplace or like the network effect issue of like, well, are they all on Lolo?
Right.
Am I on there yet? I feel like it'd be interesting. Like, do you have an exit strategy? Like, I feel like X could like also just like acquire this.
I mean, that would be cool. But I mean, look, I haven't thought like, I don't feel like I'm even justified to think about exit strategy. I barely started my entrance strategy. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
Hard to
of
get going.
course,
I guess maybe a really good invite strategy, like growth strategy, is like, okay, finding how to like easily link in, maybe like in someone's link tree or easy to link in on their Twitter account or something, so that like when I do connect with someone,
yeah,
like if you can kind of tap into some of these networks that kind of like already exist somehow, so that whenever I'm meeting someone new, they're also getting exposure to Lolo, as
yeah,
opposed to, I don't know, I'm meeting someone new and they have to discover Lolo separately.
yeah. Those problems are things I'm really looking forward to
Yeah,
tackle.
I
Like,
love it.
I'm a solo one-man show. So like I have to prioritize very like,
Big
you know,
time.
it's so important that I have my priorities on a daily basis. Like, okay, so next week is the Miami thing. So this week I was like, yo, whatever state the product's in, I just need to accept it and I need to pivot to
Yes.
like building marketing
More
throughout this
marketing.
week.
Yep.
So I can have at least some type of wave cresting next weekend and into like Monday through Wednesday, which is the conference, right? So I was like, I gotta accept, and you know, I didn't tell you this before, but like, I used to do music. Like I studied music
Okay.
in college, high school. I was studying opera, musicals, but I was also making my own music and producing music and like recording it. And I put out some albums in the past. And right now, like what I'm doing with dropping Lolo, it reminds me of an album release. It's like at a certain point, you have to just accept the craft in the way that you created it. And you can't like keep iterating and you can't stay in the lab forever. Like you got to just let it go. And that can be like a scary thing, but it's really fun when down the line you look back on it, you're like, I look back on all my music releases very fondly and proudly, even if I feel like the music sometimes it just wasn't that great. Like I thought, listen back and I'm like, oh, that was terrible. But like, I'm still happy that I did it.
Well, you shipped you're in the arena. There's tons of people not shipping anything.
Yeah, this is actually like you're tapping into like a really, really important like mental framework that I have, which is that like most people, they don't, like 9 out of 10 people, it's not a real stat, but that's what I think. They won't do something because they just like are too scared to try. So if you just try, you're already beyond like 9 out of 10.
You're already in the top 10% easily.
Yeah. So like trying to drop this product is beyond everyone who like is too scared to drop their product.
Trying consistently. Yeah, huge. Yeah, I the older I get, the like less advice I'm taking from anyone, because I'm just like, go ahead and ship something, let me know. Go ahead and invent something. Just listen to other builders, like listen to other shippers, because like, my neighbor, for example, they're older than us. Their son, just like he graduated recently with like a degree in entrepreneurship. And I'm like, first of all, how do you even get a degree in entrepreneurship? Like, does the professor just like give you throat punches and like glass at you? I don't really understand how this works, but he's just like so confidently being like, oh, well, I just graduated with a degree in entrepreneurship, so I'll give you some feedback. And I'm like, yeah, kid, the thing that I took no salary on for a year and now I'm making peanuts and I think about day and night, the moment I'm about to fall asleep, my stomach drops and I get a hot flash because I'm thinking about cash flow. Yeah, you fucking think about this for 30 seconds and you come up with an idea that I haven't thought of. Please, please, please tell me something.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm starting to feel some of that. Like, yeah, I go to sleep and I'm like thinking about all these different things that I have to do the next day. But I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. Like, it's so exciting and it's fun for me. Yeah. And I have so much respect for my previous boss, like at the job I had before. But I just feel about myself like I just wanted to do it on my own track, like I want to try it in my own way. And if that's the path I chose, I can't complain about like things along the way, like, because overall I'm way happier that I have the opportunity to like chase a dream,
Yeah.
and not everyone
Doing
gets
this
that.
full time?
So yeah, I'm all in.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm all in, boats burned, like I'm off my savings, like that's it,
Yeah.
Like I'm already like a motivated person, but that even like brings up to another level where it's like you got to make something happen here. Like,
I love
so
it.
it's really good. Yeah, I'm really having a good time.
After it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this tweet that we both tweeted about. I
Oh
think it
yeah.
was Jonas, and he's like talking about the $400 billion IRL community economy. And then, of course, which I thought was like very compelling. And he tagged Time Left and 222 and a bunch of other startups and just the piling on. In fact, I should probably just like pull up some of the tweets because some of them were like, sick burns, real sick burns. Let's see. Soon, all of our relationships can be financialized and turned into apps, just like dating. I mean, this one's pretty funny. Pitching to VCs, my app idea to get funding. Okay, imagine if you had friends, which was actually like pretty funny. So much of SF culture is abstracting completely normal and ambient behaviors into first something that someone can claim takes organization skills and capacity as a resume item, and secondly, force an attempt to commodify it.
Yeah.
Someone said bomb San Francisco until there's nothing left. Even Mike Solana, who says, I never want to shit on young founders, but please just go outside already. Oh yeah, this was the juiciest one. I actually fucking hate you people. You're not going to make a business out of having friends. All of these will fail, and we are all rooting for your downfall. Burn SF to the ground. So I saw you retweeted something. I retweeted something. Like, what was your take when you saw this?
I'm happy that honestly the vertical that we're both building in is starting to get attention, and like I really didn't see any downside in it. I was like, this is great. Like this is because that's what he said in the thread is what I've been thinking for the past like 3 years, basically, even before I had started building Lolo. But I had the idea for like I had snap maps for crypto as an idea in like 2022 when NFTs were huge, right? So I was like, you could use the NFTs as a method to bring people together because they have a strong community. That was like when I started to realize there's a new world, like not to be corny, but like there is kind of like a new paradigm in 2020s with the internet, just like with the state of digital affairs right now. And during COVID, we hit like a maximum online as a society. I think that will probably, it'll take a while for us to get back there. Like now we're on a downswing from being online completely, right? Like let's say in 2020 and 2021 was like peak online in 2022. And then like you started to see all those online, like fully online mediums, they reached like really hot and now they're starting to come back, like everything relating to metaverse. Let's say specifically because the music industry, like I found that very electronic and digital genres start to like kind of be less popular and more analog and acoustic genres start to become more popular. Like rap and hip hop went down while country went up. And, so that's like, what does that indicate? I think that indicates like an appreciation for an outdoorsy culture, as well as like country music lends itself more to going in person to the concert and like just being like outside, right? Like it's like really, some people might not agree, but I feel like there's something deep there. And then also like, it's definitely true that if more, it's the IRL sector is emerging as a counterweight to the digital sector and the AI enabled sector, because it's like, if we're going to spend probably maybe less time online because AI is going to do more things for us, then it makes meeting in person even more important than ever. And I also think that like, because of COVID as well, when a lot of business meetings, intros and stuff went onto things like Google Meet, Zoom, etc., and everyone started remote work, obviously, like calls constantly. I think like for a few years, everyone loved it and was like, oh, it's great. Like I can just take this call. But now people are starting to
take this call from the toilet.
Yeah. It's just more meaningful and it feels more important to go in person and meet somebody for like for a coffee chat if you're trying to do some deal with them or like, some professional thing rather than like getting on a call. I think people are just understanding intuitively now that going in person is really important. We tried to write it off, like we don't need to go in person. Everything will be done through metaverse and VR, but that just is not happening. It's not as fun as real life. It's not as like exciting. I'm walking around SF in the last 2-3 weekends. The parks are full. people are like barbecuing and playing with their dogs and stuff, going on dates, and like it's really active. I think people know that that stuff's important. So this like IRL connection economy is definitely a real trend. I think it's like going to keep growing over the next like 10 years. Probably it's going to keep growing.
Yeah. And in-person like presence is so precious because you can only be in one physical place at a time.
Right.
So you're kind of like showing up. You're like, hey, this is important to me. I took the time to like, you know, dress presentably, show up, park my car, whatever. You know, it's like a real kind of sign of respect or like signaling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also saw this and I was like, oh, great. Like, you know, and I've been on Twitter for a long time, so I know how Twitter works. And it's like all press is good press, you know, in the way of like, so I agreed. I was like, oh yeah, I love it when people are talking about the in-person economy. But the people dunking on it is like, there's so many more things you could be dunking on. Like, first of all, like just all of B2B SaaS. Like there's just like a million CRMs and like Salesforce knockoffs and like, you know, there's just like, and then there's like all these Facetune apps that are like making like no one looks like their real self in person versus like on, you know, online. Then there's like whatever, OnlyFans, like all the porn in the world. Like there's so many other worse things that you could be building than like an in-person community platform.
I know. I agree.
And then people are kind of like, well, I don't need to make friends. And I'm like, that's like saying like, I'm fit. I don't need to go to the gym. Gym shouldn't exist. And it's like,
right.
Yeah, I also don't need an app to like make friends, but some people do. Or some people like they just got divorced or they followed their husband across the country and now they like for his job and now they just like are in a new place. Like, go fuck yourself. Like everyone has their own reason to like do you know, whatever they need to do. Like, congratulations, I'm happy for you. Like one girl, she's just like, I went to 5 parties this weekend and I have friends everywhere. I'm like, I'm happy for you. Like, congrats. That's so great. But like some people want to meet new people. They want to get out of their comfort zone. They want to like meet new, or it's like you have a ton of friends, but they're just like this one kind of friend or this one kind of person. And you just want to like shake things up. Like, anyway, there's just like so many worse things that people could be building.
I agree. They're like, I think it's like, you know, obviously I'm biased, but I think it's like a noble cause in a way. Like, it's something that can definitely help people in real life. And it helps an IRL social product on average is going to bring more joy to people than, like another GPT wrapper, right? Like the market is massive. Like we don't really know how many people globally would be interested in the right solution, whatever that might be. Like whatever platform. There's a bunch of
bigger than the dating scene because like
I think it is too.
People come to so for those who don't know, I have like a white labeled dinner club platform. It's kind of like launching your own white labeled time left type treatment.
Nice.
And we don't personally like 222 and time left. They both like have their own audience that they like send out to events. We don't personally send anyone to an event. We just give the engine to any creator or someone who's a community builder who wants to launch their own dinner club. So it's up to them what the vibes are, where it is, when it is.
Yeah.
We just give them like the engine and the tools to make it happen.
Yeah.
And tons of people are going to these dinner clubs in hopes of meeting someone, but it's not like so explicitly dating. And a lot of people are like, I'm tired of the dating apps. I'm tired of swiping. I just want like, it's, you know, you can judge someone by a photo, but like, it's hard to pick up on like immediate chemistry.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I think a lot of these social apps are actually dating apps. It's just like and you can meet friends. It's not only explicitly for hookups or explicitly for dating, you know? And I think it kind of takes the pressure off too, because it's like you're in a group of 6, at least in time left and dinner situation. I don't know how 222 does it exactly, but yeah, you're in a group setting. There's no like explicit, you know, expectation that this is a date. So you end up meeting a lot more people. And like, I think it's great for people.
Exactly. It's more serendipitous. People like I think now a lot of people are getting tired of dating apps because it's like, it's so like you and you're going to go together, you know, like you and you're going to go on a date now. Right. And it's like, then you get there and, you know, there's different expectations from the different individuals. And it's difficult to like sometimes talk through that or communicate what is one person looking for versus the other. And so like it can sometimes feel like too much of a dice roll, too much of a waste of time. And the
people, like, I stopped asking people because I've been married for 18 years. I stopped asking people how they met because, like, my husband and I got married before, like, one person at our wedding had an iPhone. Like, the apps, I don't even think the App Store had been released. I don't know. But now you don't want to ask people how they met because they don't want to tell you that they met on Tinder.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
There's been this, like, push and pull with the dinner club platform. So people always, sometimes they write in the next day being like, you should have put us in touch with each other. Like, I obviously, like, what kind of, app in 2026, like, doesn't, like, connect people digitally, like, after the dinner? Because we don't. You just come to the dinner and you leave feedback on the overall event, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And for now, I don't want to offer this online connection feature. Because the opt-in is kind of complicated. It's like, well, you were in the mood and that to, like, share your information with other people, but then you got to the table and there was, like, a creep, and, like, now you got to go, like, unselect, timing.
Right.
The timing of opting in is difficult, but I also just feel like because you can message someone online, you don't be a little extra brave in person and just, like, ask her out right now.
Yeah.
Like, buckle up, buddy. Like, this is it. This is your one chance. So just, like, don't just, like, chicken out and then, like, DM her later. It's like, no. Go up to her right now and be like, can I buy you a drink?
Yeah.
And so I'm just, like, forcing that. And then we also don't have a feature that lets you communicate that you're running late to the dinner, because I believe that if you do that, if we create that, then it will, like, create a moral hazard and people will all just start showing up late to dinner.
Yeah.
It's like the 90s, like, before we had phones and you made a plan to meet someone at the movie and you had to be there. Like, you had to get yourself there on time. You couldn't just text and be like, oh, change of plans, we're going to this other place. Like, and so I'm kind of, like, doing this 90s analog thing. I don't know how long we'll be able to hold on for dear life, but I'm kind of like, nope, you just show up when you said you were going to be there. If you want to talk to someone, you got to be a fucking human about it.
I think I like that. I like that you're putting your opinion on the product, and, like, I think that I like those decisions. So and I also like the idea of having a white label, because I think those local dinner clubs will become even more popular. Like, they're starting to become a thing. I think it'll become more and more of a thing if there's a platform that's like, oh, it's easy for someone like a neighborhood popular figure to do that. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like, I could see the vision. I think there has to be a really good level of taste when designing an IRL social platform, and the ones that really do well will probably be the ones that understand human behavior and emotion the best. Like, not treating humans like cattle, trying to, like, corral them through the loops or the hoops and jumps of your app, but rather, like, understanding what would a regular person want to do that's, like, feels engaging and fun and normal and natural, not like they're being coerced to do something unnatural, and hopefully bring them value in the way of, like, introducing them to someone great or helping them find someone that they met before and they had lost touch with or something like that. Like, that's going to be, there's a lot of room for that, especially also in today's, like, we have so much ability to travel now that it's also like when you go to a new city and you want to have a dinner, there should be options, right? Or you want to go to, like, an event, like, there should be options.
That's why I think Time Left and 222 do so well, because, like, they tend to be in these major cities where a lot of our dinner clubs are not. Like, we don't have a dinner club in New York just yet. I mean, there are some launching soon, but we're, like, in Waco, Texas, and Wichita, Kansas, and, like, Winnipeg, Canada, all these kind of smaller, like, tier 3 even cities where, like, Time Left just isn't going to be. And, like, my husband went to a Time Left dinner, and, we live an hour north of Boston. A guy he liked, that he could have been friends with, lives an hour south of Boston. Like, it's just not going to happen. 2 hours, too much.
Yeah.
Too far. It's just, like, not going to happen. So I'm excited about this, like, hyper local layer that just previously, because of, like, relying on the cold start problem and network effects and, like, planning events were so much work that you're not going to plan an event, like, in Sacramento, you're just going to, like, drive to San Francisco and plan it there, But as these tools make that kind of stuff easier and the localization easier, you can find each other. I'm pretty excited about it. And I was very inspired last summer. My husband and I were out for ice cream, and there's this clearly like, I don't know, maybe he was like a freshman in college, like pretty young kid. And we were kind of chatting with him in line, and it was a beautiful night. So it was like a long ice cream line. And we were behind him when he ordered his ice cream. He asked the girl working for her phone number, and she gave it to him. And we were like, damn, bro, good work. Like, way to close it, you know?
Yeah.
And we get our ice cream, and we're like, wait, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I just like came to check out Portsmouth. And we're like, okay, like we'll show you around. Like we'll give you like a 20-minute like walking tour. And the thing he said was he used to have dates lined up all the time on like Tinder. And because he always had something on the calendar, it would make him like less bold in person.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped like scheduling like online dates, and now he's just like trying to increase his surface area in person. I was like, man, this guy, so much riz, like 20-year-old kid, but like good for him. I hope that's the direction like young men are going in, because I just love to see it.
I started to do the same thing. Like I don't use the apps anymore intentionally, because I'm like, okay, if I see someone that I'm fond of in person, like I want to almost feel like it's not like there's an easy way out on the apps. Like I have to say hello to them, or else I'm like, yeah, I'm intentionally reducing my hit rate or whatever, like my swings at bat.
You know, we're so like hormonal, and like even like the way people smell and like mannerisms of like, you know, the thing that attracted to my husband initially, we met out dancing. We were both into swing dancing, like Lindy Hop.
Nice.
And I had already danced with him, but then I like went to go talk to him again, and he was talking to his friend who had a mental disability. And, you know, I was like pretty cute, and he could have easily just been like, bye friend, and like come to talk to me. But he's like, hey, I'm like deep in conversation with my friend here, but like I'll come find you in a little bit. Is that okay? And I was just like, man, like I was so impressed that he was so like kind to his friend, when like most guys in college would have just been like, I don't know, ditch their friend. And I was just so impressed by that. And like, no app is gonna indicate this to me.
No, exactly.
Like,
no, exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe like going to the same event or the same dinner as them, that is it increases the chances of that person being, you know, somewhat compatible. So yeah, like there's, I guess, you know, overall, there's so much growth, I think, in this sector.
Well, good work, Ibu. I'm so glad we got connected on Twitter, and I'm really rooting for you and Lolo. So
thank you. You too.
And where can people find you?
People can find me on you can find me on X. My X is at IBUPROD, IBUPROD, and the Lolo X is Lolo_IRL. And you can find all the information about the product there.
Amazing. Well, thanks for taking the time to chat, Ibu.
Thank you so much as well.